Hi, I just quickly wanted to mention, as we approach the 5th anniversary of the Iraq War, how we as citizens need to be aware that laws are passed sometimes without us being aware that they're being passed. And in America they pass executive orders which transfer powers to the president, and they can be enacted in times of emergency. And I'm going to post some of those executive orders when I can, somewhere on the right-hand side here of the video of the screen. That'll show you what laws have been passed as executive orders, and you might want to Google things like FEMA camps and executive orders. They'll come up anyway. And in fact, in Aaron Russo's film America, Freedom to Fascism, it mentions a number of them there towards the end of the film, and I would highly recommend that video to you. But in the United Kingdom, they also pass laws, and if you look at orders in council, that are passed by the Privy Council, that's basically when our government decides not to go to Parliament but goes direct to the Queen, tells her the title of the bill they want passed, and if she says the word agreed, they become law. And that's how we got into the Iraq War in 2003, and it's also how places like Diego Garcia, the citizens there, got their island stolen from them by the British government so that it could be used as a military base strategically placed in the Indian Ocean. And we need to be aware of those laws that are silently slipped in and are there waiting to be used against us. We've seen the situations in Burma and Tibet. It is possible that those situations can come to our shores as well, as hard as it is to believe, because laws have been passed and they can say they're doing it to allow peace. But based on the Iraq War, I wanted to mention, because it's the 5th anniversary, that if you want to have a real understanding of what's going on between the West and the Middle East and so forth, I would highly recommend this book. It's a book called Why They Don't Hate Us, The Axis of Evil, written by Professor Levine. It really explains the different cultures and backgrounds of both societies, and I think the title page does it justice when it says this, and I quote from it. It says, where is it? Both sides are every bit as diverse and contradictory as each other, but this idea has allowed fundamentalists on both sides to exert control over their respective societies. Propaganda is used against us, and it is used by people on different sides of the fence to get across their message. And the other book I would recommend to you is this book here called Freedom Next Time by John Pillinger, another great book. Explaining the last 30 years of how governments have sometimes manipulated, maybe not told the whole truth as they should, and have used executive orders and orders in councils and stuff like that around the world to get their way. And I just think that we need to stand up, as I said in my last video, and I think I didn't mention the executive orders and the orders in council in that video, and I felt it was important that we're aware of what our governments do and that we stand up. We've had many a war to make sure that the everyday man has the right to his say, and that to make sure that elitists don't control things. And we need to make sure that stays the way, that we don't have socialism for the rich, and that we are prepared ourselves for standing up for our freedoms, but also if those freedoms are taken away from us, that we're prepared to do what we can to get them back, and be prepared to survive. So there's my thoughts. Remember, we can change the world by opinion and by action. If you feel passionately about something, make sure you speak to your congressman or your MP, and make sure that you use the things that Gandhi and Martin Luther King did to bring about social justice and social change, but not taking away people's liberties. People shouldn't think that the government should help them in every aspect of their life. From my point of view, I guess I lean towards a libertarian point of view, but I believe that we have to stand up united and free from the aspects of our political opinions when we see wrong being done. Anyway, speak soon.